Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to Inappropriate Radio. It's your host, Tasha. Let's get into this. So, hi guys. Hope all is well. I am definitely not excited, but I'm interested, very interested in this topic, okay? No alien talk, no periodic table talk. This is not one of those messages that is a part of that cluster, but it definitely is one of those messages that is not Googleable, right? We discussed that word before we made that up. It's not Googleable. In fact, I noticed that a lot of the topics that are not Googleable, when you do Google them, they lead to more confusion. So it's important for you to follow your own inner guidance, your own intuition, have your own understanding. If there is something you don't agree with, if your spirit doesn't agree with it, I encourage you to do your own research, okay? There's absolutely nothing wrong with not wanting to just believe what someone is telling you because it sounds good. You have to believe it. Like, no, okay? So, how do you know you're talking to God? Okay? Now, we've had these discussions of people doing magic, trying to confuse you, sending spirits, causing chaos, using your belongings to curse and bewitch you, all of that, right? We've even had discussions about the devil knowing how to mimic the voice of the creator, okay? It's really up to you to determine how you're going to move forward with the information that you may be getting, right? So this information could be coming from within, outside sources, however it goes, right? You want to be able to confirm that. You want to be able to know that you're not being manipulated spiritually, because sometimes people are manipulated spiritually and it's not another human doing it. Sometimes it's just entities and the shaitan sending things your way. Okay? Of course, these attacks come through people, but I mean, and even sometimes when it is people, they don't even realize that they themselves are being used by the dark side. So it's really important. And I'm sorry, I'm going to apologize for any background noise. But how do you know it's God? And we all have our own relationship with the Creator. Some people don't have a relationship at all. So I cannot necessarily tell you how to interpret what you may think is God. I can only tell you what I interpret, what I experience, and what I've learned. Now, some things are straight across the board, right? You have the Word of God. You have the laws of the universe, laws of all of these different realms and dimensions. We discussed that. And then you have common sense. We even have the shared consciousness, right? Often referred to as the Christ consciousness. I personally believe that people who operate on that God frequency, right, who are a part of that body of people that share that consciousness, along with your intuition, are probably the two main things that all people of God have in common to say, okay, yes, God is real. These are my experiences. This is what I've encountered. This is what I know to be true. And whatever kind of consistency you may see in some areas, okay? So no one person can just come out and say all of what God is, because we all have different purposes. We all have been created in different fashions and environments, right? So the things that the Creator will communicate with you, it's probably going to differ. I mean, unless, right, there's a shared purpose, unless there's a shared destiny, a shared location, then the Creator will have things that are common between people who are sharing these destinies and locations. And again, it's not going to be consistently the same. I mean, not even identical twins have the same exact of everything. They may dress alike, think alike, talk alike, have the same, dreams or ideations. But at some point, there is a split where a distinction will be made. Okay, so it's not a crime to have a difference in opinion when it comes to the Creator. It's not a bad thing to shift in your thinking, in your understanding, in your ideation, in the process, right? That I don't want to say in the process that calls for you to follow God, or the process that is required, but there is a particular order of steps that is required in order for you to follow the Creator. So I don't think we have to necessarily be on the same page with each other, but we do have to be on the same page with what the universe requires of us in order to walk with the Creator. There is a consistency amongst all of us with what the Creator requires, right? Like, and even then, depending on your purpose, I mean, not everyone is holier than thou. Not everyone is able to accomplish, closing cycles and breaking generational curses and starting new cycles. But that doesn't mean that they're not of God, right? God didn't give everyone the same gifts and abilities and destinies, right? So just because someone is, I like to use DMX a lot as an example, because DMX now is one of those people that we can look at and see the battle, right? He's one of those people that the world can see has fought for not only his relationship with the Creator, not only was it obvious that he was anointed, right? People that are attacked as children, that is like a clear indication that God is present and going to use them. That's just one thing. That's a different topic. But the point that I'm speaking to is that sometimes the battle is evident, is obvious, and a lot of people withdraw when it becomes overwhelming, like overwhelmingly excessive, like the attacks. And some people just give up. He was one of those people that we got to see fight for his sobriety, his relationship with his children, his stance in the world, his peace, right? Everything that makes him him, everything that is connected to him in the physical, in the spiritual realms, we got to see the fight and the battle play out, right? The good and the evil. The attempts to make permanent changes that don't cause upheaval later. So that's what I mean about being able to physically see the battle. Some people's battle is that intense that it manifests down. If you know anyone who has constantly been going through, trying to figure out who they are, where they're going, what they want, what they're doing, even having that mere small question, how do I know God is real? I had someone tell me that I was not hearing from God when I decided to embark on the twin flame journey. And, like I said the other day, I have my days where I too question the Creator. I never questioned whether the existence of the Creator was real. I've always known the Creator was real. Too much evidence, right? We can't make the sun. We can't make the moon. We can't make oceans and seas. We cannot make, we cannot make certain things that the Creator makes. There's a lot of things that the Creator will do to ensure that His existence is indeed real. That's different from the overall conversation, right? Because that's physical proof. Your ability to ponder and wonder on if it's God or not is something different. I mean, we can have that conversation together and lump those two questions together and actually ask them interchangeably and answer them interchangeably. But in terms of warfare and responding to certain signs, because we've even talked about the devil being the king of the airways, right? So you could say, God, please send me a sign. And then the devil can send you a sign, right? So how do you really know that it's God, that it's of God, that it's from God? Sometimes you don't know, right? And I think the relationship you have with yourself will start to be an indicator and a reflection of God in your life, of the presence of God in your life, of your ability to hear from God, of your ability to be obedient and tap into the Creator. This is going to look different for everybody. Because remember, we even talked about being led to do things that we understand to not be good, but sometimes the Creator allows it to go on for a particular reason. So I'll give you an example and then we're out of here. Some of us have deep genetic codes that are engraved in our genetic sequence, okay? I was poisoned. I talked about this quite a few times. But I was instructed to take drugs in order to combat some of these attacks. This sounds crazy. This drug falls in line with me fighting a battle, and it may even look like I'm being disobedient to the Creator, and it may even look like I'm following instructions from a demon, especially if someone sent an attack and then I just so happen to, be under the influence. That too was another one, being attacked and the drug being used to help me understand things from a higher perspective, from something outside of the circumstances that I had been under. So you have to be sure. You have to be sure. Okay? But I'm going to end it here. I do love y'all. Okay? I hope y'all have been drinking y'all water, eating y'all fruit and vegetables, and sipping on y'all own tea because it's free. I was asleep. I took a good nap. Alright, but I hope y'all enjoy y'all weekend. And I'm out of here. Love y'all. Peace.